On your way, no one know. On your way, no one know. No one know, no way. No one know, no way. On your way, no one know. On your way, no one know. No one know, no way. No one know, no way.
I'd like to introduce our next presenter uh, with a youth perspective on agriculture and community action. Reed Singer is a sophomore student at Ohio University. He's been actively working to create a student organization working on educating students on self-governance, community rights, and rights of nature. Reed and his family farm along the Maumee River in Defiance County. Reed?
Hi, everybody. I first want to say Sherry Fleming is an amazing, kind, compassionate, passionate, and hardworking person, and I've learned so much from her. I'm Reed Singer. I'm 19, originally from the eastern side of Pennsylvania. Family moved out to Northwest Ohio, just south of where Sherry lives in Defiance County. Now I'm living in Athens, Ohio, in the southeast, paying tuition to go to Ohio University. Um, so today I'm going to attempt to talk about agriculture and community action, two subjects of which I wish I had more experience, but I am learning. It's a process. So a little bit more about myself. My family is from Europe. Maybe you could tell. My mother's side settled kind of near Youngstown, and her dad, my grandpa, worked in the steel mills. I'm proud of that. My grandfather on my father's side, their family has been farmers for a couple generations now. My grandfather used to operate and run a small dairy. That is no more. Now it is almost solely a soybean operation, a small kind of soybean operation for the area, but it is a row crop operation and has all the things that come with that. So I kind of struggled with what to say today, especially to you all. I'm kind of speaking to the crowd. But I'm just going to try to speak from my experience in agriculture and my experience with community action. I visited home this past weekend, and I was out doing chores, get put to work when you go back home. And one of the chores that I was tasked to do was to go out to a field and repair a tile drain. As many of you might know, the whole of Northwest Ohio was, and parts of it still are, rich swamp or whatever word you wanna use, wetland. But you can't plant soybeans, you can't profit, you can't plant corn in a wetland. You have to rip it apart. You have to tile and ditch and drain it to make profit off of it. You have to log it, and you have to send everything away. So I go out to the field, and there's a hole. A tile drain is just a tube in the ground that takes water as fast as it can and sends it into the Maumee. There's millions of acres of tile in the northwest of Ohio. And there's a hole. It's maybe 5 feet wide and a couple feet deep, and in the bottom is a clay tile. A lot of the older tiles were clay, and they can't withstand a giant John Deere compacting them, so they just crack. What I had to do was get down in there with a shovel that didn't fit my hand, and I dug it out and I replaced it with a plastic one. It's an unfortunate fact, but all of the water that is running through now is being run through plastic tile. So I'm not really saying anything yet, but I'll get to my point. I feel, and this is just my feeling, but that there's a deal that you entered into. There is a state of being that you enter into when you farm, or when you rip apart the land, drive off the indigenous inhabitants, when you ditch and tile and drain an area. It's the deal of a monetized benefit. You may be miserable and alone and alienated, but at least you'll be able to make some money and you'll be able to feed your family. And I'm digging that hole. I am complicit. I have taken that deal in some ways. And however much I devote myself to a cause or to a creed or to community action, I'm guilty, and I feel guilty. On top of that guilt, I feel the monetized benefits of that ditching and draining. I feel the dominion over the land, over my fellow person. I'm faced at the same time, though, with the feeling that the dream, that the deal that I've fallen into, maybe, is will not be realized. That time is over. That I will not prosper. That maybe this is the end. That I'm filled with dread down in that hole. That there is no future for me. And I feel like there are a lot of other people who feel that way. Working at GM used to be a good job for some people. Working at John Deere. But where do we go? Who do we turn to when the rubber hits the road? What do we do? Well, I think the people at the auto workers are showing us what we do. We get together and we take control of our labor, of our free will, of our choice to do something. People have figured it out in the past. The Palestinians are figuring it out right now. They're fighting back. And we must do the same. Our cause is not separate from their cause. So the question I've been asking myself is, how do I overcome the isolation that I feel down in that hole? How do I overcome the feelings of guilt that leave me incapable of dealing with my situation? And how do I fight back against the geographical, the spatial, the temporal, the financial space that separates my community? I've found, and this is just my personal experience, that a good place to start is by rejecting the false promises, rejecting the bill that I've been sold, that somewhere in what people have called the corporate state, there's somebody who will save us, who will do the work for us. And that's not true. There's no educated class. There's no savior. I am no savior. It's going to be everyday people. It is going to be everyday people doing the work that they do in their everyday life, with a love and a carefulness that brings out the best in other people. It'll be the responsibilities that we have to each other. It'll be our it'll be our growing. It'll be the planting of a seed for a new day that maybe we'll never see, but planting nonetheless. I think that's all I have to say.
On your way, no one know. On your way, no one know. No one know, no way. No one know, no way. On your way, no one know. On your way, no one know. No one know, no way. No one know, no way. No one know, no